Your grading company sucks. This past year, everyone and their dead nan has started up a card grading company. Why? Because people are dumb, or at the very least nearsighted. The past couple of years, collectibles and especially trading cards have completely taken off. Global pandemic, Logan Paul, stimulus money, etc. That on its own is a whole video for another day, but long story short, everyone wants Pokemon cards. And that means a bunch of people want graded Pokemon cards. It proves that they're authentic and it highlights their minty condition, which collectors love. Okay, so where can I get my cards graded? Well, there's like the big three grading card companies for Pokemon at the moment. There's PSA at number one, Beckett at number two, and CGC are a fair bit below, but probably grab that third spot. What's the difference between the three? Well, PSA is the most established and reputable brand as they were established in 1991 and have a very well known history in grading sports cards and now Pokemon cards. Beckett is known for their stringent grading process and arguably have much nicer labels, and they've been around since 2001. CGC, although newer in the card game, have a strong reputation from their history in comic book grading. Okay, so I have a lot of options. Should be good enough, right? Well, with the Pokemon boom, everyone has realized that some of these old cards, when graded, can have massive value. I'm talking like literally hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. So everyone's pulling out their old binders and sending off cards to grading, and in doing so, PSA and Beckett have been backed up with millions of cards in submissions, and had to even shut down their services to catch up. CGC is still open, but their expected turnaround times are many months for the standard services. So everyone still wants to grade, and well, there aren't that many options available, because sending your cards all the way to America is costly and a hassle, and you can only do it at CGC at the moment. So this has created an artificial demand for other grading card companies. Now I say artificial for a couple of reasons. Firstly, there's no natural demand for these new grading companies. Anyone with a brain, if given the choice between PSA and Beckett and all these other ones like ACE, CGA, TCG, TGP, NASA, FBI, are only even a factor because we can't grade at the big ones at the moment, with a heavy emphasis on the moment. Bringing me to my second reason, which is that they're not going to stay close forever. And with the hype already dwindling in the hobby, it'll be much easier for them to catch up. Which means, although right now there's an artificially increased amount of demand for the other grading companies, very soon that will become obsolete, and this so called niche that they have filled will become pointless. Most of these newer grading companies have nothing proprietary or particularly interesting about them. In fact, in most instances, the actual casing is worse, the label is worse, the quality control is worse, and there's little to no brand reputation or experience behind your grade. Which means for both the main reasons why people grade, they are failing to deliver. There's no authenticity because these people have limited experience. Like, I could just open up a grading company tomorrow and advertise it on YouTube and Instagram with zero experience in grading, and I could just give cards a 3 grade, or a 9, or a Gem Mint 10. I could claim that one of my cards was a Gem Mint, Pristine Ace Golden Shiny 10, and the best of its kind in the world. And obviously, that would mean absolutely nothing to anyone. But for some reason, it means things to other people? It just doesn't make sense to me, but I guess that's just me. The second and probably main reason, especially nowadays, why people get cards graded is because of value. By having a card graded in a PSA 9 or 10, you can significantly increase the value of a raw card beyond its original value. A card that's like $30 raw gets graded and boom, it goes up to $300. And the difference between a PSA 9 and a 10 can be huge. A first edition base set Charizard in PSA 9 goes for around 30k USD, and in PSA 10 goes for around 10 times more at 300k USD. Okay, so grading can bring huge value. So what? Well, being the major reason why people grade their cards, people expect some kind of return on their investment. Well, there's really no point in them investing. I'll use CGA or Card Grading Australia as an example, since that's my local one. I've managed to get a bunch of CGA 100s for raw price. So if the card wasn't graded, you could get it for the same price. And I got it in the best condition possible. Like it's not that rare to find. So not even 10s, but 100s, which is as pristine as it gets according to this company. New companies seem to be popping up in Australia and I know other countries all over the time as well. Only going to get worse as well. Because the only reason why some of these cards are holding value and some of these companies are able to create value in their cards at the moment is because the equivalent PSA or Beckett cards are just so unattainable, price and grading wise at the moment. But that's all going to change and very soon. Once PSA catches up on its backlog of millions upon millions of cards, there will be an abundance of cards just flooding the market. This will drop the value on all PSA and Beckett cards, not to mention the fact that prices are dropping across the board anyway. So when cards graded by the top companies drop in value, you can bet your left nut that all these small indie companies are going to be worthless. And I don't say that lightly. People seem to forget that for modern cards, anything less than a PSA 9 was worth less than raw. I'm not saying these cards are going to go back down that low, but they will definitely drop heavily. And when they do, I can pretty much guarantee you any grade below a 10 will be worth pretty much the same as raw, if not less. Now, one of the ones I wanted to focus on in particular was Randolph's new card grading company, Ace Grading. I have to say, I'm a little bit disappointed in Randolph because he's a smart guy who knows a lot about the Pokemon community. So he knows all of the points I've made and understands exactly what it is that he's doing. Let's have a look at his actual grading card company though. Ace Grading provides three different labels. The standard one, which let's be honest, looks pretty meh. The color match one, which kids might like, it looks terrible, like something you would buy off Wish.com. This has to be one of the most tacky and trashy looking labels I've ever seen. And what's more, the color doesn't even match. Unless I'm blind, the tones on that Charmander are a more deep orange and light orange, and the supposed color match is like a red and orange on the label. If we can't even rely on a company to match colors correctly, how can we expect them to grade correctly? It gets worse. So Ace have this amazing revolutionary new label called the Ace label, which is like this special custom label for certain cards. Now I'll admit, this Umbreon label looks pretty cool, until you realize that it's labeled incorrectly. It says it's from a 2019 set, but it's actually from a 2016 set. Now okay, don't get me wrong. I understand that mistakes can happen. They also happen at PSA and at BGS. But on a slab that was used exclusively for promotion, you would think they would do some extra due diligence. Not only was it overlooked when grading, at multiple stages throughout, even during the creation and editing of this video, it wasn't noticed. And I ask, if they can't even get the card used in advertising graded correctly, how good are the thousands of bulk cards they grade gonna be? Also, like, on this Celebi slab, the Ace label doesn't even match the art on the card. I think it looks pretty, but they literally don't match at all. It's a very confusing and strange system they have going on here. But the point I'm trying to make is that there's really nothing special about this grading company. Color matching labels already exist and they do it better. The authenticity and quality is questionable at best. There seems to be limited or no existing reputation and establishment as far as we know. And the one new thing they do, which is the Ace label, doesn't even match on some cards and it's only available for a few cards. So realistically, this grading company, like every other grading company, is going to be completely worthless, and your cards will end up becoming junk slabs. Pretty much the only redeeming factor, and only people that should really be grading with this company, is if you want a nice looking A slab for a card you happen to have for your own personal collection. And even then, it's a pretty acquired taste. That's about it. For any other reason, trust me guys, stick to the existing big companies. Doing anything else, you might as well just be throwing your cards into the trash.